All right, in our daily Bible reading in Acts chapter 23, we are reminded of the power of young people. I did a sermon probably a couple of months ago, and I used an example from Acts chapter 23, and I want to go back and look at this again for those who may be new to watching this or who have not had the opportunity to listen to that sermon. So there was a plot that we read about in Acts chapter 23 of men, about 40 men who were determined to kill Paul. In verse 12, the Bible says, "When it was day, the Jews formed a conspiracy and bound themselves under an oath, saying that they would neither eat nor drink until they had killed Paul. There were more than 40 who formed this plot. They came to the chief priest, they told him and the elders what they were going to do. But in verse 16, the son of Paul's sister. So we get some information about Paul. He had a sister. Paul was an uncle. Uncle Paul. How cool would that be for Paul to be your uncle? Heard of their ambush, and he came and entered the barracks and told Paul. So when you read the rest of the story, we see, I believe, the providence of God at work. The Lord told him to take courage. There was still work for him to do. He was to witness at Rome as well in verse number 11. And so despite this plot that was being planned, Paul would be rescued. Provisions would be made. I love this example here because it shows us two things. God watches over his people, number one. When the Lord told Paul to take courage, he meant him to take courage. That he was going to be able to witness in Rome as well, number two. And number three, young people. I don't know how old his nephew was here. But nonetheless, he's described as a young man in verse number 18. I don't know exactly how old he was, but young people can make a big difference in the lives of others. And so we learned some valuable lessons here. The big thing that really stands out to me is that God was with Paul, and providentially he was able to get him where he needed to be. And we should take courage in that God is with us. And that he will provide for us in ways sometimes that we don't even think or even imagine would be possible. So keep that in mind as you read this text. Talk to you later. Take care, and God bless.